writes, "It is essential legislative piece in Quebec's language policy." On December 5th, 2012, the National Assembly of Quebec introduced Bill 14, an act to amend the Charter of the French language, the Charter of Human Rights and the Freedoms, and other legislative provisions, Bill 14, or the bill they call it, with the purpose of increasing and protecting the use of French language. Businesses with between 26 and 49 employees are particularly concerned about the proposed amendment since their francization obligations would be significantly increased as a result of the adoption of Bill 14. If Bill 14 passes, military families living in Quebec are liable to be relocated at any time and will no longer be permitted to send their children to English language schools. Municipalities whose Anglophone inhabitants make up less than 50% of the population will lose their bilingual status, meaning, among other things, that residents will be able to access government documents in English. For the first time, companies with 25 to 49 workers will be required to conduct all business in French, a process that costs a medium-sized business $23 billion a year. English CJEBs can also see their freedom to accept Francophone students curtailed, which would hurt Francophones a lot more than Anglophones. And in terms of business, employees in Quebec would have the right to sue their employees if they were asked to speak English on the job. Côte Saint-Luc's and Hampstead's battle, along with the 84 other bilingual municipalities, to retain its language legal status of the Quebec government has garnered much media attention in the last few days, or in the last few months. Côte Saint-Luc's has produced an excellent video explanation of bilingual status for municipalities that we will be hearing a little bit later on the show. Today, live from the business headquarters on Radio Shalom, 1650 AM in Montreal, we have here to discuss the proposed Bill 14 and its consequences to the English communities in Montreal. Is Dr. William, or Bill Steinberg, Mayor of the town of Hampstead, and we also are joined by Anthony Housefather, Mayor of the city of Côte Saint-Luc. My name is Samuel Ezerzer, your host for the Money Minute Show on Radio Shalom, CJR 1650 AM. Thank you for tuning in live at our business studio headquarters in Montreal, the financial capital and the home of the greatest hockey team, the Montreal Canadiens. We have another great show for you today. As always, you can call. If you have any questions, comments, or criticism on today's topic, please have any questions or anything on today's topic, please call us 514-738-4100, extension 200, or you can email me, themoneyandbusinessshow@gmail.com. If you have any inquiries, you can also visit our website at www.radio-shalom.ca. All our shows are archived. Our topic today, Quebec's war on English, language, politics, intensified in Quebec if the proposed amendment of the Charter of the French language of Bill 14 passes. So today I have here Dr. Bill Steinberg. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Great. And we're also joined by Anthony Housefather. How are you?
I'm fine, Samuel. How are you?
Good. Excellent. I'm really happy that both of you are joining us for a great discussion, especially heated discussion here in Quebec. But I want to start with Dr. Bill Steinberg. Mario Beaulieu and the movement Québec Française says revision to the Charter of the French language are necessary to eliminate the tacit acceptance of all foreign languages in Quebec. According to Beaulieu, despite French being spoken by the overwhelming majority of the population, it is still fighting a constant losing battle against English. He says, the future of French is in urgent danger. Is it, Bill?
No, absolutely not. There's a huge problem with this viewpoint. The viewpoint that English or any other language threatens French. You have many countries in Europe where they speak many languages. They're very successful that way. They can do business all around the world. Montreal is very successful because we are, even though an officially French city, we are in fact a bilingual city. And that is good for our business. In my view, as long as the number of people speaking French is increasing, which it is, and allophones, immigrants who move into Montreal are learning French, choosing to learn French, then nobody's threatened by people also at the same time learning English. It's only good for business, it's good for our culture, it's good in every way. So English is not a threat to
What about you, Anthony? What do you think? Is the future of French is in urgent danger?
No, I mean, I don't think anything bears that out. The population of Quebec is more francophone than it has pretty much ever been. And the English-speaking community has been the one that has lost members from 1971 through 2006 in every subsequent census. There were fewer and fewer English-speaking people in Quebec. The 2006 and 2011 censuses are the first time that the size of the community is stabilized. So while I think it's very important for English-speaking Quebecers to be very sensitive to the concerns of French-speaking Quebecers about the need for all of us to speak French and the need for French to remain a living, vibrant language in Quebec, I agree with Bill that it is not going to be solved through attacking the English-speaking minority of Quebec, which is really what Bill 14 does.
But this was the issue since 1976. We're French and we're dominated by the English. So this is something that's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be with us, you know, till for another 100 years, easily. Right, Bill?
Yes. I think that once upon a time when I was a student back in the 60s, there really was a problem. Business was dominated by English, and when they passed Bill 101 in the first place, René Lévesque said, it's humiliating to have to pass such a bill. 80% of the province is French. Why do we have to pass a bill with these restrictions? Now, the truth is, the language of work regulations did change things. And today, really, if you want to do well in Quebec and in Montreal, bilingual city, in my opinion, you do need to speak French. There's no question. And most business leaders are French. And so Bill 101 accomplished what was normalized the situation, which is what it set out to do. I don't know if Bill 101 is still entirely necessary, but nobody is arguing to take away Bill 101. But now to enhance it with Bill 14, that's really beyond the pale.
Let's go to Anthony. Why do you think the PQ put forward Bill 14? Why?
Oh, I think the PQ has been very clear that it has a goal of reducing the presence of English in Quebec. I think the small minority of Quebecers, only about 32% that voted for the PQ in the last election, many of them are very rabid about their desire to reduce or eliminate the use of English, and they did it to appease their own views of Quebec and those of the supporters that they have. I mean, I think we have to accept that in Quebec there's different worldviews, and one of those worldviews is of people who believe that French should be the only language present everywhere and English should be virtually eliminated. I don't think that's the view of a majority of Quebecers. I don't think it's the view of a majority of French-speaking Quebecers, but it is the view, seemingly, of the Parti Québécois and many of the people that support them.
If I could go on from that, it seems to me the real threat to French, if there is a threat to French, which I don't think there is, but if there is, it's coming from the 250 million North Americans who speak English. So, if they're really concerned about that, perhaps they should set up border police. Anyone coming over the border should have to pass, I think, a French test. But of course, you know I'm joking. That's not going to happen. But think about it. If you're not prepared to go that far, Bill 14 is just a smaller step in that direction. It will discourage people from moving here. It will make things much more difficult. It will drive people out of this province.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about the business side, maybe a little bit